The figure 1 in 7 women worldwide experiences postpartum depression is truly staggering. It shows that this condition is far from rare. It is in fact a common reality in modern society. Yet the sad truth is that many mothers and even their families and communities fail to recognize the warning signs. They often dismiss feelings of sadness, exhaustion, or unexplained tears as nothing more than weakness or a lack of maternal instinct. This misunderstanding traps many women in a cycle of loneliness and self-blame, leaving them afraid to speak out or seek help. It must be stated clearly, postpartum depression is not weakness, but a very real psychological disorder linked to hormonal changes, emotional stress, and social pressures. If ignored, the consequences can be severe, damaging a mother's mental health, affecting a child's emotional development, and even undermining the stability of the entire family. Early recognition and an accurate understanding of this condition are the first crucial steps toward healing so that mothers can be supported, accompanied, and given the chance to rediscover joy in the journey of raising their children. The first sign is prolonged insomnia. Normally, people think that new mothers lose sleep because their babies wake up many times during the night. This is true, but not the whole story. The case of Sarah, a 30-year-old mother, is a typical example. Even when her baby was sound asleep, she still tossed and turned, her heart racing, her mind filled with anxiety, unable to close her eyes. This was no longer simple sleep deprivation, but a disruption of her biological rhythm, reflecting stress and mental exhaustion. If it persists, it can weaken physical recovery, reduce milk quality, and even push the mother deeper into feelings of helplessness. The second sign is abnormal eating habits. Some mothers skip meals and lose weight rapidly because they completely lose their appetite. Others, in contrast, overeat as a way to fill the emptiness inside. But whether eating too little or too much, the common point is that they feel uncomfortable, unable to find balance in their bodies. This is not just a change in taste after childbirth, but a reflection of psychological instability where emotions control eating behavior. The consequences can lead to malnutrition, declining health, increased risk of metabolic disorders, and prolonged depression. The third sign is exhaustion without recovery, a warning signal. The image of a mother collapsed on the bed, looking at her child without enough strength to hold or care for them is haunting. Fatigue here is not only due to lack of sleep or heavy housework, but a complete depletion, both physical and mental. In medicine, this is considered a clear sign of postpartum mental disorder, where life energy is continuously drained. What is important to emphasize is this: these symptoms are not laziness or a lack of maternal responsibility. They are the result of psychological and physical disorders and must be recognized as a condition needing support, not a personal weakness. Identifying and understanding these first three signs is a crucial starting point to protect the mental health of mothers and to ensure safety for their babies and families. When the body is already exhausted from lack of sleep, disrupted eating, and prolonged fatigue, the psychological wounds begin to show more clearly. It is no longer just physical collapse, but cracks in the emotions. Sign 4, feeling useless and guilty. Many mothers share that they constantly blame themselves for the smallest things. A baby's cry can make them think, maybe I'm a bad mother. The baby is crying because I don't know how to take care of them. This self-blame creates a vicious cycle. The more they see themselves as useless, the more distant they become from their child and from themselves. Sadly, that sense of guilt only makes depression worse. From guilt, the mother easily falls into sign 5, sadness and crying without reason. These are not just a few fleeting tears that many women experience in the first weeks after childbirth. This is a heavy sadness lasting for months, accompanied by emptiness and despair. Some mothers, while changing a diaper or breastfeeding, suddenly find tears falling down. The most painful part is that they cannot explain why they are sad, why they cry. When sadness and guilt are not released, they easily turn into sign 6, excessive anxiety and panic. A mother may be startled by the smallest sound, or restless when the baby breathes heavily or sneezes. In her mind, countless worst-case scenarios arise. The baby might stop breathing, might get seriously ill, might be in danger. Living in a constant state of alarm makes the body tense, the heart race, and what little sleep remains disappears entirely. This is the mixture of postpartum depression and anxiety, a state of exhaustion mixed with overwhelming fear. From anxiety, mothers often lose the mental energy to maintain the small joys they once cherished. And this is sign 7, losing interest in things once loved. Some who once had a passion for singing, painting, or simply going for a walk now stand before these activities feeling empty. Familiar joys no longer bring comfort. Instead, there is only a cold void. The loss of connection with past hobbies is a sign that the mother is slowly losing connection with herself. These 4 emotional signs often follow and reinforce the 3 physical ones before, creating a negative spiral. From physical exhaustion, the mother falls into guilt, sadness, anxiety, and finally the loss of small joys that once helped her stay balanced. This is not personal weakness, but a complex chain of psychophysical reactions that must be recognized and treated properly. After losing connection with themselves, many mothers gradually fall into a more difficult state. They begin to lose connection with those around them, even with their own baby. This is when behavioral signs become clear, and they are often the strongest warnings. Sign 8. Difficulty bonding with the baby. Many women admit that when they hold their baby in their arms, they feel a sense of unfamiliarity, as if they were holding someone else's child rather than their own flesh and blood. Instead of joy and comfort, they feel only emptiness or anxiety. To society, this is easily misunderstood as lacking maternal instinct, which only adds to the mother's guilt. In reality, this is a symptom of postpartum depression. When the mind is so clouded by exhaustion and despair that it becomes difficult to form the natural bond with the baby. From that distance, the mother gradually withdraws and avoids interaction. Sign 9. She refuses conversations, avoids friends, and even shuts herself off from her own family. The phone rings, but she doesn't answer. Messages arrive, but she leaves them unread. This isolation unintentionally makes depression worse. If in the past support from loved ones could ease the pressure, now the act of closing herself off turns the mother into a prisoner in her own home. And most concerning of all is sign 10, thoughts of harming herself or the baby. This is the most dangerous stage of postpartum depression. These thoughts do not come from malice, but from despair. The mother believes she has no value, or that the baby would be better off without her. Some have shared that they once stood by a window imagining stepping out to end the pain. Moments like these are silent cries for help, which must be recognized and responded to immediately. These last 3 signs affect not only the mother, but also the baby and the entire family. A child needs emotional bonding and care to develop healthily. When the mother is trapped in depression, both the child's development and the family's stability are put at risk. The chain of 10 signs, physical, emotional, and behavioral, are not separate but closely linked, forming a closed circle. Beginning with insomnia and fatigue, they gradually lead to guilt, sadness, anxiety, loss of interest, and finally, distance, isolation, and dangerous thoughts. This is not weakness or personal failure, but a medical condition that must be understood and treated. Recognizing the signs early and standing by the mother is the key to breaking this circle, bringing her back to light and joy. Looking back at the 10 signs, we see that postpartum depression is not a passing sadness, nor is it a sign of weakness. It is a journey through darkness where the body is drained, emotions are torn apart, and joy slowly fades away. The important truth is this: mothers in such circumstances are not alone. If you have experienced it, know that those feelings do not define who you are, and you deserve healing. If your daughter, daughter-in-law, or friend has just given birth, pay attention to these signals. A sincere question, a hug, or simply your quiet presence can save an entire family. Postpartum depression is an illness, and illness must be listened to, treated, and accompanied. When the community opens its heart, when families listen, when a mother knows she is not fighting alone, the light will return, and in that light, both mother and child can truly grow together. Postpartum depression is a harsh reality, but one that can absolutely be overcome. It chooses no one. Any mother, no matter how strong, may face it. What matters is that we learn to recognize, listen, and stand by them, because each sign, from sleepless nights to unexplained tears to desperate thoughts, is a silent call for help. For every mother, healing comes not only from doctors or therapy, but from the embrace of family and the understanding of society. And for every child, having a mother who is loved and cared for is the strongest foundation for a happy childhood. Remember, postpartum depression is not weakness, but a condition that needs treatment. When we raise our voices together, darkness will gradually give way to light. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or meaningful, please subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to share this with your friends and family. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you more stories that truly matter. See you in the next video.